Hey guys, good morning. It's Tony. So for those of you that actually saw my GameStop TA, I think last week Friday, you guys already know what I thought GameStop. You guys already know that I already thought GameStop was going to do this move, right? I'm not surprised that GameStop actually ran yesterday. So from that close, I actually expected us to go all the way up to 283, possibly break that 283 resistance, close the gap, come back down to 283 for a resistance, turn into support, retest, and then shoot up to 320, or we actually run from where we were up to about this level, up to around 211, 212-ish, come back down, retest like 182-ish, 180, and then run to 283. So as of right now, looks like GameStop is playing out perfectly. Unfortunately, it was my fault for not buying a call or at least two last Friday, which was actually my intention. One of my buddies actually bought around 2 calls for GameStop. Well, he actually bought these a while back, and he talked to me about getting in, and I'm like, you know what, I can't do anything until confirmation. I told him I can't do anything until GameStop closes a bull week. And we actually did that last Friday while I was doing the TA. So that was my fault for not actually buying in, because remember, always got to follow your strategy. I need to learn how to follow my own TA, because that's how I lose money, right? I generally do a lot of TA for a lot of people, and a lot of those plays that actually end up playing out really, really well. So it was my own fault for not buying calls. You guys already know I have a really big position in GameStop. I have about 20,000 bucks right now in it. Currently in the money too, but again, I think GameStop can definitely keep running. That's basically it. I don't really have too much of a TA to do here. I think my forecast that I made last week was it can run up about $169 from that week trigger. So when was that actually created? Last week? Yeah, so about 2 weeks or so after, I think we can hit that 169. I think for the most part, we are headed in that direction. And I think that, you know, and that 169 figure is actually taken from the historical runs that we did before, right? You know, back in January, back in February, back in March, and then from the last run up back in, you know, June that we had to like the 300 plus. I definitely think we're headed back in that same direction. And especially with that gap at around 290-ish, I definitely think minimum we are going back to 290 to fill that gap. And then possibly keep running from there. That's basically what I think is going to happen. I think this week is going to be, you know, the second bullish week that we're going to have on GameStop, and I think next week we're actually going to be creating highs. So for those of you holding calls or whatever, you know, do with that information what you think. But I do think not this week, but I think next week we're actually going to be creating highs again. I could be completely wrong, and we can shoot up to like 350 tomorrow or today, right? But again, it's really just from looking at recent highs or what happened, you know, in the previous weeks on GameStop, right? You rallied, you created a bullish week, and then boom, 1, 2, on that second week created, you actually had peak highs. So 1, 2, so it really depends on when. But because we created last week those highs, I do think there's a strong possibility that we create highs next week. We still have a lot of room to run, especially on the weekly chart. We got a lot of room to run. Look at this. We got a lot of room to run on the stochastic. There's a lot of momentum that can be had for the upside. But again, GameStop, I think it's going to 290 at least to fill that gap, and then possibly to 322. After 322, I have no idea where it can go. I think major resistance is at 350-ish. After it breaks 350, if it does, it's fuck if I know where it's gonna go. No idea what happens if it breaks 350. It can go to 351 and completely dump, or it can go to from 350, it could run to like $1,000. Absolutely no idea what it can do. I'm just holding, right? That's really it. Just holding. So I'll see you guys later. Have a great day. It looks like the GME TA from last week is playing out pretty nicely. And minimum, I do think we're going up to fill that gap at 290. Bye.